this woman? What happened to her? And why is she blue? So spoiler alert, before I go on, if you haven't watched the documentary, Love Has Won, The Cult of Mother God, you don't want to listen to this video because I'm going to tell you what happens. So go watch it and come back. So since the airing of this shocking documentary, I have been getting the question, what is happening with this woman? Why is she blue? And how did she die? The woman in this picture is Amy Carlson. Her followers call her Mother God. I wanted to make this video to explain some of the controversial things that are happening in the documentary to help explain what might be happening to her physically. So I'm going to show you a video of a clip from the show. You're going to notice she's in a wheelchair. I want you to notice how her skin looks, how her eyes look, how her mouth looks, and how she looks like she's breathing. So here's the video, and then I'll come back and explain what's going on. So here is what's going on in that video, at least from what I think is going on, because I did see the documentary, so they gave us some context clues there. And then also I'm a hospice nurse and I see this type of thing kind of all the time, except for the blue part. So why is she blue? She's blue because she was drinking high doses of colloidal silver. Now, people can drink small doses of this and say there's some benefits. Now, I am not saying to do this, but some people believe that it can help with certain things. However, she was drinking like a half a liter to a liter a day of this stuff, which is why she is blue. It's a condition called argyria. So among turning blue, drinking high volumes of this can also be toxic to you and cause irritation to your lungs and to your throat. Also, besides turning you blue, you can have some breathing issues. It can cause irritation to your lung, throat, and cause severe stomach pains, which, by the way, she was experiencing all of these in the documentary. Also, why is she so sick? Why is she so sick throughout the documentary? Why does she look the way she looks in that video? And from my best knowledge from watching the video and from being a hospice nurse, I believe she has liver disease, if not liver failure. So the way she looks, besides being blue, she also has some tint of jaundice, you can see. The way her eyes and mouth and how she was breathing, how lethargic she looked very, very, very similar to someone who would be in liver failure. So when I was watching this, I thought to myself, she is in liver failure and she is dying. I couldn't see her stomach, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was distended from ascites, which also happens at the end stages of liver disease. She wasn't officially diagnosed with liver disease because she was never seeking medical attention. However, because I watched the documentary and they were telling us how often she was drinking, she was a daily alcohol drinker, lots of alcohol daily. That kind of cued me into she could be having liver failure. And just to be clear, not everyone who has liver failure is an alcoholic or suffers from alcoholism, but I do think in this case that was her issue just because I watched the documentary. So also in this next clip, I want you to look at her feet. It's clear that she has third spacing or edema, which can happen for several reasons. People at the end of life can have this type of looking foot for many reasons. Her reasoning would be because I have a feeling she's in liver failure, she's third spacing, which causes edema like this, and she's towards the end of her life, which shows that they probably are trying to hydrate her in some way, and the body is not doing what it should with the fluid, so it's seeping out in third spacing and causing very, very swollen feet. Lastly, let's talk about the pain she said she was experiencing. Throughout the documentary, she kept talking about how she was getting in worse and worse pain, and then they'd show different clips of like what her feet looked like, what her back looked like, what different joints looked like, and they were really red and swollen. And the first thing I thought of when I saw those was, oh my gosh, she has really bad gout. I don't know if you guys know this, but gout is something that can be easily fixed, but if not fixed, it's very, very painful. And if it's not treated, it's like even a sheet going over your toes would send you into like a severe pain crisis. And to me, that's what it looked like was all over her body. She just had gout that she was not treating. No wonder why she was in so much pain. So not everyone who has gout is an alcoholic, but many alcoholics will have gout. How do I know this? I'm an alcoholic and I had gout when I was 23 and it was super, super painful. Most of you know this, I've been sober for 8 years, so I haven't experienced that. But back in the day, I actually was a 23-year-old with gout because of my drinking. And let me tell you, it was the most painful thing I ever experienced. It was so painful. All of this explains what is happening to Mother God, or Amy Carlson. It's a super sad but very interesting documentary. So unfortunately, I believe she did die from probably a combination of end-stage liver disease and then anorexia, because she also wasn't eating. She had malnutrition. My heart goes out to her friends and family. This documentary was interesting but devastating, and it goes to show that, you know, sometimes we think we don't know what's happening, or we have other causes as why something is happening, when really there are scientific ways to explain what's going on with the body. That's why this is so fascinating to me, because it shows that our bodies are built to live and they are built to die. Have you guys seen this documentary? Let me know what you think.